Like what's happening right now? Because that was new to us, right? We didn't know that the state was going to do that. So we're experiencing it. We were probably, I think Mule Creek did it first and Donovan did it second. But so
Yeah.
can you imagine? And then once I started, dude, it took me a minute. Once I started to see what was actually happening, I'm like, fuck no, you're not. I'm not going to be a part of this. I'm not going to be. This is fucking crazy. This is
Do you
bad.
raise the concerns up the chain of command?
Yeah, bro. They used to. If you raise the concerns against the chain of command, they're gonna come after you. They're gonna chop off your head. They're gonna target you. They're gonna retaliate against you because you're going against the grain, even though it's wrong. Oh,
And,
bro, I got paperwork, man. Why do you think I feel so confident talking about what I talk about? I got emails, memorandums, memos, documents of me telling them, "Hey, you need to stop this. What you're doing is you're getting people hurt. You're getting people killed." Mm. Shut up, Hector. You're being insubordinate. They put me under investigation like 2 or 3 times for being insubordinate,
that's what they
insubordination.
call it. Yeah.
But I
It,
know I'm not insubordinate, man, because I know what insubordination is, and I'm not insubordinate.
I mean, then there goes my question. Were you raising the concern because you were concerned that somebody was gonna get killed and it was gonna affect how you were living? It was gonna affect your
Nah,
peace, or were you doing it just so it can come out to the light?
no, dude, I was doing it because don't get me wrong, man. I wasn't some type of inmate lover, right? I wasn't like some Christian man that was trying to make the whole world a better place. I was just thinking, man, this is fucked up. This is fucked up. Our captains have us doing the dirty work and then they're getting us in trouble for it. But I also saw what was going to happen next, and it did. The inmates got so tired of fighting each other and nothing happening, them not going to the hole, that I said, I even told the officers, they're going to turn on us next.
Yep.
They're they're gonna turn on us. They're like, well, how do you know, LT? I'm like, they're gonna turn. Look at they're stabbing each other, they're slashing each other, and they're still staying on the yard. When have you ever seen this? And yeah, bro, it was on a Sunday. Alpha Yard, Donovan. Oh, staff assaults, bro. From 6 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. Every time a fucking door cracked, staff assaults. Staff, because the Sureños had already had the 72-hour rule to get off the yard, and it had hit the 72 hours, and it was fuck, dude. Luckily, it wasn't my yard. I was on the next yard over, Delta Yard, but it was cracking, dude.
And
Because
then
we all helped. We all went over to help.
yeah, and that's what I'm going with this. It puts eventually we
Everybody.
realize that okay, they're not gonna do nothing about it. So the next best thing is they're gonna get us here one way out. We just hit them.
Exactly.
They're gonna have no choice but to get them out of here because if they pull me right back, I'm gonna keep doing the same old thing.
Oh, staff assault will get you put in the hole for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
So
at least in that time. I don't know now. It's fucking crazy probably now. But
what they're still doing, at
yeah,
least for staff, so they're still putting you in the hole to where
yeah.
I'm here. And now I want to bring this up to you, and I asked you the comment outside the before we start recording because it's happening in Santanella now. So DR
Mm-hmm.
is SNY. So what they doing is they overflowing 4 block as actives and they're letting them out to chow with the SNYs, three
Yeah.
yards, and they're getting off. So my buddy that's there, they just checked in after 29 years. He was at somebody. He scaled the ranks all the way through the 90s. He did time with Wetter Sherm, with all them big names back in the days. Well, he got from Kern Valley, he got transferred to Santanella. When he got to Santanella, they decided to hit him because he didn't want to do as he was told. He
Yeah.
he's single cell. He's been single cell for 10 years. Well, they were trying to force him to get a cellie to educate him on the work that we do. Well,
Yeah.
they wanted him to sign a paper, but the paper they were giving him has some wordings in there that was gonna put him in trouble in the long run if it went to another yard. But in that yard was allowed to sign the paperwork, so he chose not to, so they hit him. Well, he went to the SNY yard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got cancer, so he's been battling all this stuff that is going on, and he passed out a couple of times on his way to chow because of the hotness that it is, and he's bleeding over, and nobody's giving him no attention. Well, he went out for his canteen and slip, and they popped the level 4, building 4 inmates out, 6 of them against 3 SNY. They're picking up the door, and well, the inmates are level ones and level twos. They don't know what they're supposed to do. That most of them are youngsters, so he didn't want to rush him because he looked at them like they're kids. They don't know what they're doing. He waited for them to bust the move, which they finally did once they hit him up and they were like, "Are you actor?" And it went off. They got put in a hold 2 days, and after 2 days, they voided their lockup order and then brought them back to the yard, and they kept him there. Well, this has been happening every other day, every other day. This has been happening all the other day. What they're not realizing that eventually they're gonna get the ideas of whether level ones or level twos. They're gonna get the ideas to start cutting up lockers and getting pieces, and they're gonna end up hurting somebody in there. We
Yeah.
just saw what just happened with Wicked from Blythe Street and the main line, and
Yep.
CRGP, and that's another thing that I want to discuss with you. You run across a lot of big hitters when you were doing work. Um, have you ever run across one of them that you said, "Man, dude's an asshole"? I won't even say what's up to him because his whole demeanor just straight dickhead.
Uh, the only one like that was Yoda. Only because he was brought down from high desert on a personal request from the captain, which I've never seen before. And if you ask me, that's illegal too.
Yeah.
Man, I mentioned a lot of illegal things happening on the green side, man. Um, so I knew that he brought him down basically to let him run the yard, to let him run Bravo yard. And I never heard of nothing like that either, man, where you just bring an inmate down from wherever you want and just give him the full power to do whatever the hell he wants. So, so when I would work on that yard or come across that individual, in order for me to show him I didn't care about him and I wasn't impressed and he meant nothing to me, I never conversed with the guy. Kind of like psychological warfare, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I never said one word to him. The only time I ever spoke to that guy was when he was in the holding cell in the gym after they attempted to murder those two cops. They stabbed the shit out of those two cops. I said, disrespect. Because I had heard, oh, the cops disrespected them. That's why they did that. And I said, disrespect. And he goes, why don't you ask your cops? And that was that. But,
Was
that was
it was that riot that took place in Donovan at that time? Was it really behind? Because for what we heard on our side was that he was drunk. One cop told him to do something. He told him no, because I guess he felt empowered by the captain to tell the
correct.
cop no. And the
Correct.
cop turned around and told him, "You're gonna do what the fuck I'm telling you, or you're gonna see what's gonna happen." And he took it as disrespect because it was a threat. So he
So
told young goons to go ahead and handle the business, and it kicked it off.
yeah, I mean, yeah, if you look at the whole totality of the circumstances and you look at everything, if you have a captain that gives you the power, you're going to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You're going to feel empowered, right? You're going to feel untouchable. You're going to feel that you have more authority than the cops on that yard. So there was a table in front of housing unit 8 over there by Adsec at the end. And that's where the Sureños kicked it. And they were drunk. I mean, there's a lot of mistakes that happen. I mean, the inmates drunk, on the yard. That's a rule. You can't even be out drunk on the yard. That's a rule for the inmates or high. Um, and then you had younger officers, right? Younger, inexperienced. So if they're feeling a certain way, the inmates feeling a certain way, words get exchanged, then yeah, it kicked off, it cracked off. And I do believe it had to do with the officer, it was yard recall. Tells him, "Hey, take it home." And then Yoda supposedly said, "Yeah, fuck, I'll take it home when I want to take it home." And then the cop, "Oh, you're gonna fucking take it home when I tell you." And then boom, fucking blew up.
So when you were there and you see these officers really bad wounded, and you see the reality hit you in the face that could be me due to this stupid captain doing this dumb shit, giving these people the more power than they already feel like they have. What's going through your head when you see these two officers laying and they gotta get escorted out to the hospital? You, because I heard you said in your one of your videos that you went to visit them a lot. You giving them more support, which is something that a lot of officers do. because they sometimes take it out like you put us in a predicament. You should have just let it go. So they feel some type of way because you know that you got both.
I'm,
You got the good supportive ones and you got the dickhead supporters.
I'm gonna tell you something funny that I've never said before. Well, first of all, as far as the mentality of knowing that I can get messed up bad, I already had that mentality, man. You remember that I came from the war. I've seen people in pieces, right? I've
Yeah.
seen brain. I know what a torn apart body looks like, right? And I said like, oh yeah, that could be me for sure. I can get got. Here's a story I'm gonna tell you that's freaking hilarious. It's not funny, but it did happen for sure. Nobody liked that captain at all. They hated him before the attempted murder. But the warden loved him and the warden protected him. And at the end of the day, he's still a captain, right? So you can't be disrespectful to a captain. You can't tell a captain what to do. So you're kind of in a position of getting screwed over. But nobody liked him, and nobody liked Yoda either. So everybody saw a train wreck that was going to happen eventually. Oh, and it happened. When I saw the officers, it enraged everybody, dude. It enraged everybody because it finally happened what we knew was going to happen. It wasn't a surprise. There was even an associate warden, an AW, that blasted the warden and the chief on an email, and then he retired. But he sent it out, and I got a copy. He said the truth in that email. He sent it to the news and everything. The following day, the stupid freaking captain wanted to have a meeting on the yard and talk to the staff, right? But this other cool, like he was a captain or an AW. He told the captain, don't do it, don't do it. The staff members are pissed right now. Do not do it. Well, he did it anyways because he's a fucking idiot. Well, dude, they were yelling at him. Imagine, I've never seen nothing like this. And I wasn't there for this. They told me, they were telling her, hey, you're a fucking bitch. You're a coward. You almost got 2 people killed. You're incompetent. You need to quit. And they're yelling at this dude in a meeting, and the captain's just taking it. The funny thing is, we had just got a new AW that came from Tehachapi, so he was brand new. He's watching like, damn, is this how you guys get down here? Like disrespecting managers, dude. You had other officers coming from other yards just to come and disrespect the captain since everybody was doing it. They said this was going on for like 5 to 10 minutes, where they were just belittling this captain, but he wasn't making matters better for himself. He was like, don't worry, guys. They're going to move me to Delta Yard anyways. And then somebody yelled, why? So you can go over there and fuck that yard up too. So, like,
Yeah.
eventually they had to stop it. Right. Eventually they had to stop it because they said it was got out of control. And that captain, he ended up getting fired for lying. That dude was a straight liar, bro. Straight criminal, straight thief. I mean, straight criminal as well.
So he
Uh,
lost his job.
he lost his job, but not over that incident. He lost his job over lying. He released all the inmates during count. He released all the inmates during count to go get some Chick-fil-A food sale, some chicken, and then when they brought it up, he lied and said, "No, I didn't do that. The lieutenant did that." But everybody had the documentation that the captain did. In fact, they even interviewed inmates, and the inmates are like, "Oh yeah, the captain released us."
Oh wow.
He was a liar, bro. He was a criminal.
Now that you see this situation happen in CDC, your truthful opinion, do you think it's gonna get worse before it gets better? That these murders are gonna spike up due to these incompetent managers in the CDC?
Bro, it's never gonna get better. You know why it's not gonna get better? Because I tell people right now, if today you started and you took every step that you had to take to fix the California Department of Corrections, you know how long it would take for it to get fixed? It'll probably take like 7 years to get fixed, bro. But the thing is, they're not even starting that. They have no intention on fixing it. They're going this way.
They want to implement this. This is what I don't understand. What in their right mind make them think that SNY and active inmates will get along if they left for a reason? I get the gang SNY gangs. I get they trying to prove a point. Oh, you guys want to be gangsters that go against the real gangster, right? I get that stupid mentality that they have. I get it in the sense that you dropped out from the gang to become a gang member over here, which is for me personally, I don't understand, but I don't knock nobody for doing it. That's their life.
Right.
But I get the sense of it. But also, there's a lot of people in the SNYR that just doing their time. They're literally just trying to get home, and you putting them in jeopardy as well. You're not giving a shit about their life.
So
So, answer me this, Hector. why should the inmates care about the officer's life if they don't care about theirs?
But to answer your question, man, it's bigger than that. You have to follow the money, right? The same way that they tricked me into saying go to Iraq. Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction, and we need to liberate the Iraqi people. And I was a pawn and a soldier, and I went over there and I got there, and I'm like, this isn't true, right? There was a bigger play at hand. They don't care about mixing SNY and GP. They don't care. They don't. It's a fucking facade. It's fake. What they're saying is we want everybody to get along. We're here to help. No, there's a power. There's a bigger play. There's a bigger power play. People are getting paid, dude. Whatever's happening, power moves. That's way up above, right? But I realize, like, I'm not gonna. I've already been a pawn once, and I've been a pawn twice. I'm not gonna do somebody's dirty work. Um, it's dangerous, dude. There's nothing stopping an inmate from killing a cop. It's gonna happen, and it's sad, it's scary. Nobody deserves that. Even the inmates don't deserve to get, dude. If people listen to my message, right? I'm not saying no inmate deserves to die. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're in the gang life and you're dealing drugs and stealing drugs and making men and putting hits on people, hey, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You're gonna get got eventually. You're politicking against people. What I'm saying is, for us to be setting up murders is fucking downright illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew that hit with Cricket from Blythe Street was gonna happen, and I
Yeah.
was behind the scenes. I will show it to you why I say that.
Yeah.
Because they knew once Ronnie Ayala hit the yard, they knew that he was coming with a mentality that this is my fucking yard. This is close to my hometown. This shit belongs to me, and I will make every power move that I can to get it right. And the power struggle that's going on between the LA and San Diego cars within the big hitters
Yeah.
is so scandalous that we have homies killing each other behind stupidity,
Um,
politicians.
um,
And the cops are allowing it to happen. They know that these things are gonna transpire because they have their little moles in the yards that drop the little kites. I seen it.
So I don't talk about me. I don't talk about inmate politics in depth on my channel or whatever. But I will tell you the similarities between the administration and the similarities between the criminal gang organizations are identical. They're
Yes.
identical. The only problem I have with that is I expect that. I expect that from a criminal. I don't expect that from somebody who upholds the law or says they're
There
going to
we
uphold
go.
the law. But they're identical. They're identical get downs.
Yeah, and
Do as you say, not as I do.
yeah, and I know you don't speak on politics and
Yeah.
the thing because, like you said, that might not be your forte, even though you might know knowledge of it.
No,
But
my forte is to live, bro.
yeah. And now my question: when you resigned for the Department of Corrections,
Yeah.
was your point to expose them? Was that one of your goals, or you have in mind? I'm gonna open up a channel. I'm gonna try to make sure that shit sees the light that is not being seen.
So I didn't do it for money, meaning that I did not sue the department. I haven't sued the department. I could sue the department. Think about it. If you think about everything I've said and everything I have documented,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure I have a good case of, like, retaliation, harassment, EEO complaints. I have a case against them, but I don't. That's not what I want. I saw something so wrong, so broken, that needed something. And I didn't fix the department. I didn't fix the department. I'm not nowhere near, but I let the public know what's really happening. And another thing that would piss me off is how they were saying that officers were beating up inmates in there left and right. Now, did some inmates get touched? Yeah. Was force used? Yeah, force is going to get used. It's a prison. But, the narrative that they were spinning was like, the cops, there's a Green Wall gang. I had to come out and say, there's no freaking Green Wall gang anymore. Look at these young kids. We're going to have mocos coming down their fucking nose in a backpack, Ugg boots, fucking little kids getting slapped around by the inmates. I was watching it. I was a lieutenant. I felt bad.
and this is my question, and now I'm glad you mentioned the green wall. It doesn't exist as it was, but when I was still in prison 3 years ago, I
Yeah.
heard Tehachapi still had some of the Green Wall members there, and I kept hearing stories, and I seen dudes that were coming from Tehachapi with their hands broken, their eyes
Yeah.
popped out. I mean, I met a couple dudes that were on the SNY They were with me in a shoe, corking shoe. They were coming out from Tehachapi. Dude literally lost his eye due to a beating he took by them. So there might be still some dudes they do that, but not all officers. You cannot, and I will say this: I won't judge every single officer with the same stick
Yeah.
because I wouldn't like that to be done to me.
Right.
So I never did. I always treated the officers with the utmost respect as a man.
Yeah.
Now, if they crossed the line, they knew that they were facing because my paperwork spoke for himself. I was the one dude that came from the county with a lot of SOTA staff, but it was always we never started. We defended ourselves most of the time, and it was the respectful. And sometimes had to do with the young people coming out of the academy thinking that
Oh
they
yeah.
bully people out, and you know that. But there's also, I will say this, not all the time the officers is wrong either. There are inmates that are fucking dummies and dickheads that go out their way to trying to prove a point to an officer, trying to present themselves like they're badass, and they commit stupid acts. You know, and
Donovan.
shit
Donovan.
happens. So, do you think or do you believe there's still some type of hidden members of that Greenwald gang within this facility, within the department?
Well, I mean, you brought up Tehachapi. I never worked there. I never been there. Have I heard stories? Yeah, I've heard stories, man, for sure. Do I believe the stories? Like I said, I've heard stories. You know what I mean? So, and I think they're even closing down Tehachapi.
Yeah.
So, like that might be, that might get eradicated soon. Are there other prisons where you hear stories from? Yeah, there's other prisons up north. You hear things that happen. Um, some prisons get away with some people get away with certain things. I mean, you don't always get away. Nowadays, you're gonna get caught. If you're doing shit you ain't supposed to be doing, you're gonna get caught. Um, even now, even if you do something per the rules, you're gonna get in trouble, man. I've seen it. I've seen it time and time again. And even me as a lieutenant, I see a young officer use pepper spray on an inmate that was punching him. I'll have captains tell me, write him up. Write him up for what? Oh, well, he wasn't wearing his COVID mask or he cussed. He said the bad word to the end. I'm like, nah, man. It just puts the officers in a bad spot. So it's wild right now, dude. Um, but to answer your question, there's probably still remnants of that, but small pockets. But it's not a it's not plaguing the department. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And another thing before we get to some of your channel doing this, and there was something that I wanted to do before because I wanted it. I got to know your channel as what you presented as, but I didn't to know the Hector. Do you come from a background of Latino family, or what is your background?
Straight up, dude. I'm from Brawley, California. It's on the border of fucking Mexicali, Calexico, Yuma over there. It's all Mexican, dude. My grandparents from both sides came from Mexico, or for sure on my dad's side. Um, you know, tamales, Christmas, champurrado, Spanish from my grandparents.
Do you feel proud of having those heritages as a Latino, or was that something that were you trying to like be one of those guys that I was born here, I'm American, full blown American? Were you proud of having some type of Hispanic or Latino in you?
So when people in the past used to ask me, "What are you, Mexican or American?" I used to say American, right? American. I used to say that. Or if let's say the Mexico soccer team was playing against the American soccer team, I will say America, go for America, right? Like just I'm not a soccer fan, but when I was in Germany, one of my good my leader Hector Leja, he ended up getting killed in Iraq. He got shot in the head by a sniper. He gave me a Mexican flag. He was from Texas, and he told me, here, I'm gonna give this to you. You give it to the next youngster, the next Mexican that comes through that you think is deserving." And I had that Mexican flag above my bed. There's pictures of it. So I've always represented um my culture, my race. On my back, I told you about the name of my 9 friends that were killed. In Spanish, it says caídos pero no olvidados. So, yeah, dude, I'm Mexican. The crazy thing is, I just had an epiphany. In my head, I've always admired the Romans, the Spartans, the Greeks. I've always admired that, dude, and I've always, I watch 300. I study history, but lately, I've been looking into the Aztec culture, right? Not because I'm affiliated with gangs or not anything, because I'm not. But I'm thinking, like, man, why am I so intrigued by the Greek, by the Spartans, when in reality, the blood that runs through me is from down south.
If you're looking at it, believe me, I studied that because we that was implemented to us in the shoot. We
Yeah,
had to read our history, so there's a lot of good history. And I'm Salvadorian, so I never wore nothing that was. I don't have nothing against Mexico. I got most of my friends, most of my family were Mexican, but I look deep down into the roots of my family, my blood and heritage, which is Salvadorian, and we are a mixture of some of the Mexicans villages and some of the people that follow the Toltecs, the Aztecs, and all that stuff, right? But it's a trip because a lot of people are embarrassed. You got this new generation coming up. If you ask them, they come from parents that are illegals.
right.
They're afraid to say their nationality half and half. They'd rather just say I'm American. We're losing that side of us. And I don't know if it's because of the stupidity that's happening within the politics nowadays or what the hell is it, but
um,
I always wanted to ask you if you were proud of.
I'm I'm not embarrassed, bro. I'm proud. I'm proud of who I am and where my family comes from, for sure,
That's right.
100%.
When you
And
started
I'm
this,
proud of my last name, dude. I'm proud of my last name. That's why I
yeah.
want to have a son. I need to have a son for him to carry on that last
I
name.
saw your daughter, bro. You have a beautiful
Yeah.
daughter,
Thank
brother.
you.
You
Thank you.
have a beautiful daughter, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that was gonna be my next question. When you had when you were married with your kid, did it affect did it affect you when you were working in a department when you used to come home, or do you used to leave work at work and come home? Did it affect in any way your wife and your relationship, and then afterwards with your daughter as well?
So there's a lot of reasons why I quit, right? But in reality, there's small reasons, or there's a lot, but or I should say maybe there's a little bit, but they were major. One of the things that I noticed was one day I came home from work. My daughter was 4 years old, and she gave me this look, dude. She gave me this look on her face, and the look that she gave me was like that she was scared of me, or that I was standoffish, like she couldn't approach me, not like a daddy and a little girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It was more like kind of like shook, like shocked. And instantly in my head, I said, "It's the job. It's the job. She's looking at me because of the job." Because, and I tell people, man, I used to walk around with a mean look on my face. Not a mean look, but I wasn't smiling. I wasn't welcoming anybody to come talk to me. I didn't want the inmates talking to me. I didn't want staff necessarily talking to me. I wanted to be left alone because, the less you know, the better you are in prison.
yeah,
so,
yeah. That is true.
so I was very standoffish. I was, was I approachable to the point where, hey, an inmate can come up and chop it up with me and talk, and let's figure out a problem? Yeah. And the staff members, they need help? Yeah. But other than that, I had a demeanor of straight and serious. And my personality is not that. My personality is a jokester, dude. Wild, like funny, like fun. Um, so it changed my personality, dude. It made me
Yeah, because I see most of your videos and you always have this personality of you, like,
that's me. That's
y-
the true me.
yeah. So I see it because my wife had told me sometimes when you get this look in your face, like you're not approachable. That's a look that tells me don't come talk to me. I'm going, something is in my head, but
Right.
I noticed it until it happened with my niece because I don't have kids of my own, but I like my nieces come to see me, and it happened one day when I was angry at something that happened outside, and I came into the house and I had that look in my face, and she was gonna ask me something because she said my name. But when I turned around to look at her, I guess my look told her I don't want to hear it type of.
Yeah.
So it kind of scared me to become that person that I never wanted to become because in prison we have to wear a facade. We
Correct.
step outside the cell with somebody else. Inside the cell, you can joke with your cellie, whatever. So that's why I asked if it was like that
So
with you.
I also have another look that scares my wife. I have a look, and that look is, when the eyes turn on, and I go into like a rage, like a trance, and that scares the shit out of my wife. And she doesn't like it, and she tells me, and there's I can't stop it or I can't help it, or sometimes I just go there. You know what I mean? And that's as a result of being in the military and working in a prison for sure.
Oh yeah.
Being exposed to violence.
It's a trance. Your eyes get a little closed, and you start getting dark circles around your eyes, and
Yeah,
then you
you
go
start looking right through people.
right through people. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Believe me, 15 years of having that look is it's a long, long time. Man, I can tell you, man. When I found your channel, I was intrigued, and I told you before of the record that I looked at you and I was like, I'm proud of somebody at least is saying the truth, at least from their side,
Right.
because a lot of emails were also saying a lot of convicts. I don't even like to call myself an email because convict is a different whole ball game, a whole different era. A lot of convicts been saying it's been happening. Prison had never been the same, and now it's with all this transpiring. You came out and saying now a lot of people are paying more attention to it. A lot of this violence, a lot of these incidents can be avoided, and I think and I feel that they can be avoided. And I think there's ways to rehabilitate people. But you know what I think the department was lacking? There wasn't helping people coming home with this. There wasn't helping them get set up after they hit the ground, and that's where the recidivism was happening. Everybody was going back because we didn't have nothing to come home to. So I believe in rehabilitations. I believe that people can get rehabilitated. I've been home almost 4 years, brother, and I had never been. I never got a parole violation. I'm
That's
still
what's
on
up.
paperwork. I'm pushing through.
That's
I'm
awesome,
doing
dude.
my. I got my company off the ground now. I'm running my LLC. I'm doing everything that's supposed to be the way it's supposed to be. And I have people I looked up to. You are one of those people now that I looked up to because you did something that not a lot of people would have done. You made the transition from an officer to a YouTuber channel, and you are actually speaking the truth. There's no bullshit behind it because I could vouch for half of the shit that I
Yeah,
seen myself. So I tip my hats up to you, and I wanted to say from at least from the convict side, people that done time and people that I still talk to that came home and still active on good standings, we appreciate you at least speaking on the issues that a lot of people didn't want to listen to us. Coming from your side, at least people are paying more attention to. And I thank you that you opened the doors for a lot of us to feel a little bit more freedom to speak up.
yeah, for sure, dude. Thank you.
And you like a lot. I have a couple of your people came to my channel and they tell me, "Hey, I'm coming from Hector. I saw your interview." And you have some of your my subscribers that went there that they tell you, and they always tell me, "Hey, check out Hector." And when I finally did, I like the content you were putting out, and that's why I reached out to you. I was like, "Hey, I wanted to have a conversation, checked out, and speak with you. Hopefully, this is not the last time we work together. Hopefully, we can find a common ground where we can do some content together,
For
and we
sure.
can bring more awareness to people because we
Y-
need this type of relationships where we can be positive. We are seeing outside the lines that were
y-
drawn for us with the blue and the green team back then. We're overpassing that line, and I think it's good for us.
For sure, dude. Like for the viewers that watch and have no idea how prison is or how California prison is or was, dude, at one point, me and you would have been considered mortal enemies, man.
Oh yeah,
If it would have kicked off, it would have fucking kicked off, dude, for sure.
yeah,
And we saw past that, we got past that, and we see the big picture, and we're like, hell nah, the hell was that?
yeah.
So it's cool, man. It's history. If you ask me, it's history, dude. We're making history.
We're
That's the way
making
I
it.
look at it.
A lot of people. I get a lot of my homeboys. They're still active, and they have sold the videos. They call me and they hit me up like, "Bro, you sitting down with an ex-Northern talking to an ex-Northern?" I say, "Yeah, man. I'm looking past the colors of the numbers now, bro. It's bigger than this
It's
now.
bigger.
Now I'm sitting with we used to call cops,
Yeah.
but it was a CO." And now we're sitting down and talking to them, and a lot of people. The feedback I got after we did the first interview on your channel was like, "Bro, great. That's
You, you
that.
know, even the COs, man, they realize they see me how I talk to inmates or former inmates. They see how I interact. They look and they're like, man, fuck, the administration is the problem, right? The inmates are easy to deal with. You violate a rule, you get dealt with, whatever, write up or whatever. But the other shit, that's that corruption, man. How do you fight corruption?
You can't. And this is the thing, like, because we both know you have a job to do. You walk in there, you got 8 hours to do. And what I used to like about some of the officers, at least when I was in the Bay, we had an understanding. Hey, I come in here to get my check, do 8 hours, do the
Yeah.
less you can. Don't throw me off in front of my supervisors. and I will fuck with you guys. What I used to fucking hate, and I will tell you this, it was one of my pet peeves, was when officers will come in there and start tripping on little small stuff, and they will want to go in their cell, start ripping your pictures off the wall,
Yeah.
your grandma dead pictures, and they throw in the toilet, or they will throw the coffee all over your bed, and they will still smile in your face saying like, "What you gonna do?" That to me was the utmost disrespectful shit that happened, and I think that
Right.
was the first incident that I ever got into with an officer when I went to the shoe behind that 38-month shoe, because he ripped my grandma. My grandma passed away, and he ripped my picture of the wall and threw her in the toilet. And he said, but it was by accident. There's no way that the picture was sitting on by the desk and made it all the way to the toilet. You know the distance that she had
Right.
to travel.
Right.
It's not gonna fly. So you can understand it was respectful. And I try to at least tell him, hey, just if you did it by mistake or by accident, just say dispenser. You know, just say dispenser, and that's good. But he
Yeah.
didn't want to. He felt like he couldn't buy down to an image, so it escalated to a situation where we both were placed on a fucked up predicament.
Yeah.
Of course, I end up losing because I go to the shoot for 38 months. I get your case, but I mean, at least to us, it says we revile our honor, which is stupid now if you look at it,
Yeah.
our point of
Right.
view. But that's shit that we're supposed to do as convicts, you know.
I get it.
I also hit you up, man. A lot of people ask me, so I'll ask you because I want to know. You have some of the merch. I believe you have Chanate going on. Do you have anything else coming up for your channel?
I got the chanate, the coffee. I got the straight mud, the dark blend. I got the clothing. My book is on Amazon, Operation Yard Recall. But the biggest, latest thing I got dropping, dude, is there's a documentary that they made about me and my deployment to Iraq. It's about trauma. And that's gonna come out February 2025. It's
Where
gonna
can
be Amazon. It's gonna be on Amazon
where
Prime.
can people find your clothing and your Chanate and everything else?
Stateissued.com. So me and a buddy named Matt, my brother Matt, we're kind of like we're two dudes from California. We're like, hey, you know what? We have a certain style to us, and everybody that kind of follows like my channel or your channel, we kind of all have the same kind of West Coast vibes, dude. And
Yeah.
I kind of want to bring it back and put it back on the map, dude. Since Newsom ruined this beautiful state.
Oh, fucking asshole, man.
Yeah, dude. So
So I will make sure to check it out. To all my people, go make sure you guys check it out. Let us know. I will put the website, the link for him to go check it out. Because I did ask you to send me the link for the Chanate and the merch last time. I know you've been busy, so whenever you have the chance, send it to me. I
I'll
will
just I'll just send you a bag, dude. So text me your address. I'll shoot you a bag probably tomorrow.
I
Yeah,
don't know. This is one of the big tumblers cups that I got made. It was one of the first merch that I did. I also
yeah,
wanted to send one to you so you can try it out
for
because it
sure.
does keep everything cold and hot.
That's
And I
what's up.
also got cups that I custom made with the American flag and the Mexican flag, which would be something that I wanted to do for you just on GP. So we'll talk together and then get
Definitely,
each other address, and I will mail that to you as well, so you can have something for our collaboration. I thank you for taking the time out of your day, brother. I know you've been busy. Hopefully, this will not be the last time that we collab. Hopefully, there will be many more things to come,
definitely, dude.
and we stay in touch. Thank you for taking the
That's
time,
what's up.
brother. With that being said,
Cool.
man,
Thank you.
go
Thank you
check
for having me on
out
your channel.
Hector, the Prison Guard channel. If you guys haven't checked out, subscribe. Make sure you guys share and like, and stay tuned for it. But any last words, brother?
Thank you, dude. Yeah, ultimately it's about saving lives and changing lives, man, for the better. Everybody needs to stop fighting down here and focus at the real problem up there.
Yes, sir. And like I always tell you guys, man, make sure you guys be kind to one another. Tell your loved ones that you love them because tomorrow's never a promise, man. Let's get it with that.